What's good? What's good? It's the big homie. It's the one, the only. But what do I know? Boxing coming back at y'all with another one, man. So we got Devin, Haney, and Shakur going back at it, back and forth. Now I don't have a Twitter, even though my friends say I need one. I was looking at Fire Hype. Shout out to them. I got some stuff from them and whatnot, and I wanted to just put my twist on it. So as you guys can see, somebody said, imagine if Shakur did land the Haney fight and became undisputed too. And Devin Haney retweeted, said, eat a duh. It will never happen. And Shakur retweeted and said, you know you can't F with me. Stop capping for Twitter. I will fight you for 25% if you bet your whole purse on the fight. Let's do some real-ish gangster. Alright? So then Devin Haney said, nigga, F out of here. Where was all this negotiating when you had the offer? Don't let what Bud did gas you up. You know I got something lined up. Stop crying. The WBC, I'll be back to 35. Gangster, he put in quotation marks. Then Shakur said, I got you, Suge. Regis just told you he's not taking the baby money you offering. So I'm telling you, I'll take it if you put your whole purse. That shouldn't be a problem since you believe you can beat me, right? Boom. Then Devin Haney says, I was saying the same thing when I sent you the 25% offer. You just proved me right. And then Shakur said, exactly, you gonna ignore what I said because you was a bitch. What happened to they say everything but let's fight. Put your money where your mouth is. Pussy. Alright, so let's go ahead and get into it, man. So first and foremost, let me say this right here, bro. We are coming off of the heels of the fight that we have been anticipating for a long time, for years. And I'm still shocked at it, man. I think that even if you had Terrence Crawford win, I don't think that anybody saw it being a complete domination like that. I want the rematch, but I want it to be at 154 if they do rematch. If it's at 147, I feel like we're gonna see the same thing. Maybe at 154, we might see something different, who knows? But anyways, all right, so you got Shakur Stevenson, who's obviously riding with Terrence Crawford a lot and trains with Terrence Crawford, spars him. He actually sparred Terrence Crawford in preparation for the Errol Spence fight. You got Shakur Stevenson talking about how he wants to fight with Devin Haney. Now, the thing about it is where a lot of fans are attacking Devin Haney, and I feel like it's not rightfully so. Why they should? I don't feel like they should be attacking Devin Haney, and here's my reason why. All right, first and foremost, a lot of fans are trying to say that, well, the 25% that's unfair and all this type of stuff and all that type of stuff. All right, well, the thing about it is Devin Haney had to actually accept less to fight George Kambosos. He took 22%, all right? Then he went to George Kambosos' hometown twice after beating him, all right? And then he signed over to ESPN. So I'm going to be honest, though I do feel like if they were to fight, I think that Shakur would get the better of Devin Haney. I feel like, I definitely feel like Devin Haney is not in the wrong. I feel like Shakur has to take that 25%. I mean, bro, this is where, like, bro, at some point, listen, you can't have your cake and eat it too. At some point, you're gonna have to make some level of sacrifice in order to get to where you want to go. And in this situation, bro, all it takes is one fight for you to become undisputed at 135. Devin Haney has all the belts, so I do feel like it's fair that Devin Haney gets 75%, bro. It's not like, listen, it's not like Shakur. Now, I also understand that Shakur has won a title at 26 and unified at 30. I get that, and that's all great. But the only thing about it is the difference between this situation and the Terrence Crawford situation, because a lot of people felt like, or I was one of the ones that said Errol Spence definitely is the A side when it comes to the Terrence Crawford situation because of him, packing C's. He got most of the belts and all this type of stuff. Terrence Crawford got one belt. But I did feel like Terrence Crawford deserved more than I feel like 70-30 was just too far of a split. I definitely felt that way. But the difference between Terrence Crawford and Shakur Stevenson is Terrence Crawford actually had a belt at 147 in the weight that he was campaigning at to become undisputed. All right, Shakur Stevenson doesn't have any belts at 135. Devin Haney has all the belts. So it's really more so as to like, you kind of have to do what Devin Haney says, or you just don't get a shot at being undisputed. And the thing about that is you can wait till a purse bid, but a purse bid gives the champion 75% anyways. So it's like, bro, what are you really gonna do other than like, dude, you just gonna keep campaigning at 135 and not fighting for the titles? I think that's a pointless trip. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, bro, at some point you're gonna have to sacrifice. You can't have your cake and eat it too, bro. All right. Neither one of them are just like just guys that are doing like millions of pay-per-view. Not Tank Davis. If it was Tank Davis, I can understand. If it was Tank Davis, like you trying to offer Tank Davis 25%, I could completely understand. Like, no, that's not gonna happen. That's definitely not gonna happen. You know, I could even understand with Ryan Garcia. Like Ryan Garcia, he fills out arenas. He puts butts in the seats. Him and Tank Davis just did like 1.2 million pay-per-view buys. I could even understand Ryan Garcia not accepting that much. But Shakur, even though he's better than Ryan Garcia, I don't know about him and Tank. I think that he's a better boxer than Tank, but I don't know if they fought. I don't know who would win that fight. But I think that like Shakur doesn't really pack. He's not like that star level yet. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, so I don't think that Shakur should just I don't think that Devin Haney is wrong for this. You know, I feel like Devin Haney has every right to do this. Plus, it's a fight that I would want to see. Now, of course, Devin Haney is saying that he's fighting October. I think he said October 28th of this year. He doesn't know. They're talking about Regis' program. Regis did come out saying that like he didn't like the money that they were offering. He gonna have to put a few more O's on it or something like that, or whatever. But the WBC basically stated that if he chooses to fight at 140, he would have to relinquish the belt at 135. Shakur is ranked number 1 at 135 for the WBC. So I don't know how they're gonna do that. I don't know what happens to that or whatnot. I know Devin Haney did request for an extension for the WBC at 135. My only thing is, man, like I don't personally. Now I will say this on Devin Haney's behalf. Personally, I don't like when fighters do that. When they fight at another weight class, without relinquishing the belts, because to me, like I said, it kind of feels, it just feels like they're holding up the division. You know, Jermell Charlo is moving up 2 weight classes to fight Canelo Alvarez. I understand why they're doing that though, while they're holding on to titles to make it undisputed versus undisputed, and that's cool. But at the end of the day, only one undisputed champion's belt's on the line. You know what I'm saying? It's not like all of their belts can be on the line and then everybody takes, the winner takes all. You know what I'm saying? So in this situation, it's like, man, just, you know, I personally, I would have rather him fight Shakur Stevenson, but I don't feel like it's a duck. Some people feel like Devin Haney is ducking Shakur by fighting Regis, but I always felt like, bro, if you're fighting, if you like, you can't fight everybody in one night, right? If one person's calling you out and you're taking another dangerous fight, then I don't feel like that's ducking. You know, I feel like that's a pass. You get a pass for that. You know, now difference is in Canelo, in a situation like where you have Canelo, who everybody wants to see him fight David Benavidez, but then he fights John Ryder. Then people go turn around and say, well, John Ryder was his mandatory. Well, so was Jermall Charlo at one particular time, back when we actually wanted to see Canelo fight Jermall Charlo. And people said, no, Jermall Charlo doesn't deserve that fight. David Benavidez has the interim WBC title, and people are still making excuses as to why David Benavidez doesn't deserve that fight. So in that situation, it's different. But when you're like, I don't even want to say avoiding, when you don't fight one person because you're fighting another dangerous opponent, I don't feel like that's a duck. I feel like you should definitely get a pass for that, bro. You have every right to do that. You know. And in this situation, Devin Haney is moving up fighting Regis Prograis, who to me, I think is the second best. Well, yeah, it's between Teofimo, Gary Antoine Russell, and Regis Prograis. Those are the top 3 at 140, in my opinion. I feel like that's a dangerous fight. And on top of that, at 140, the WBC has the list for. Gary Antoine Russell is actually ranked high on the WBC list, on the WBC rankings at 140, so I could possibly get that fight too. So I'm not mad. It should, and that should Devin Haney get past Regis. I'm not mad at Devin Haney for doing that, bro. I think that's a smart move. He gets a chance to become a champion in another weight class. However, if he does relinquish the titles, then that means Shakur and Vasily Lomachenko will be fighting because they're number 1 and number 2. They'll be fighting for the vacant WBC title. And then at that particular moment, I feel like that may make it a little bit harder to negotiate for fights with Shakur and Devin Haney. If Shakur has one of those titles, then he may be able to argue to get more on the as far as the percentage wise. But I don't know, man. I really hope that this fight gets made. These guys have history with the sparring session that's on YouTube, and it's one of the best sparring sessions that you'll see as far as new age fighters. It was really a tit for tat. I think Shakur took over. They don't have the part where Shakur took over, but they do have it where it's pretty even or whatnot. But man, I hope that this fight happens. I really do, man. Because both fighters are very good, and you know they were friends at first. These guys actually were very, very close to where the point where Devin Haney was calling Shakur, you know, like big bro, and you know they had a little issue at one point, but then they patched things up and they were back cool, and now it's like, you know, it went from being friends to enemies. You know, Shakur is. You know, I don't think it's nothing personal to where it's like, hey, it's all business. You know what I'm saying? Like, we in the same weight class. I want them titles. You got something I want. Boom. You know. Now, if they don't fight, I feel like Shakur will hold a grudge against Devin Haney. I definitely feel that way. But hopefully they can make this fight happen and take it off of the Twitter. I mean, the fingers are moving more than the hands are. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, so let's get this fight going, bro, because I really would love to see this fight. But if Devin Haney fights Regis Prograis, then I'm all for it. That's a great fight as well. All right, let me know what you guys think. Would you like to see this fight next? Who do you see winning this fight? Make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe. But what do I know?